Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
It was a rough week. I mean, her faves are down. They're struggling with, the front page of the New York Times this morning, Democrats struggling with African-American voters, particularly African-American men. This gender gap issue is real. It's a real problem. And you see the Democrats reacting to it. And I think what they are now finally in October, the election, coming to realize is that a lot of men think Democrats care more about dudes who want to become women than dudes who just want to be dudes. And no hunting is going to change if the bet is made. Working class men, whether you're black, Hispanic, or white, persistently, consistently do not believe the Democratic Party, and specifically Kamala Harris, are going to do a thing for them. They've been told that they're the problem, and I suspect they're going to rise up on election day and tell the elites who told them that you're wrong.
Bro, did you hear
He said
what
that on
Scott
CNN,
Jennings
bro?
said, bro? Yo, yeah. All right. What's going on, family? It's time for No Picks Podcast.
What up, y'all? Joe, No Picks Podcast.
Listen, let's get right into it, Joe. Yo, what do you think about what Scott Jennings had to say on CNN just now?
I can't believe, first of all, the cojones on this man to actually say that on CNN, bro. I was like, yo, he really said this on CNN, and it was probably like mainstream news.
And for people who don't know, Scott Jennings,
I think
he's a Republican contributor on CNN. He's regularly on there, having Republican views, right? He's one of the very few Republicans on CNN having it. But yeah, go ahead. For anybody who didn't know. So what you think, bro? Like what you think about what he said?
I'm trying to be careful with what I say because I don't want to get flagged on this, John. Because as soon as you start talking about a certain demographic, bro, you gotta walk on eggshells, right? But what I will say is that I personally believe there is some truth in what he is saying. For the longest time, we've been saying that the Democratic Party has been putting so much support and emphasis on the LGBTQ community and on this trans issue with like certain gender reaffirming surgeries, and like making sure that kids have privacy, and like school staff don't have to disclose like their pronouns to their parents, like all this stuff they've been writing so hard for. And it kind of feels like they support more of the alphabet community than they actually do actual men, bro. Like I've felt that. I'm just like, yo, if you're a black, if for black women and for members of the alphabet community, y'all eating good right now with the Democratic Party. I've felt that way for some time now. So I don't know, bro. I personally feel like there is some truth in what he is saying, and like you said, we as men, we have not felt represented or reflected in the Democratic Party for a long time now, and part of the issue is because of this. So that's my initial thought. What did you think about what he said, bro?
Listen, bro, that quote was bars, bro. He said, I'm going to mess it up. I'm going to try to paraphrase him best I can. He said, the Democratic Party cares more about women who want to be dudes than dudes who just want to be dudes. That is 100% bars and 100% facts, bro. Like that is just a straight fact. That's what I believe. That's where I think the Democratic Party just kind of went off the rails for me. That's where I'm like, because they just sound so absolutely ridiculous when they talk about these things. Like it's just so nonsensical. And what he's saying is facts, bro. Like he put what I've been feeling into like a coherent 2 sentences, into a bar, into something, a slogan, right? Like if it said, if I saw that in like a Cracker Barrel or something like that, I'll buy that joint and slap it to the back of my car, bro. Like because like yo, I feel what he's saying, and I think it's true. Like we like the Democratic Party in particular caters so much. They kiss the behind of the LGBTQ, especially the T. They go super hard for the T.
Yeah.
And I don't really understand like where this went left. I'm not saying like denigrate them or make them feel like outcasts or nothing like that, but like they get preferential treatment. I don't even think that's up for debate.
Yeah, they're a protected class at this point. You know what I mean? Like you can't even crack a joke about them as a comedian or you'll be canceled. You know what I mean? We've talked about that before where they're like this secret, this special group that like you can't criticize, you
Mm,
can't form an opinion on, you can't make fun of because they're so protected, right? And I'm just like, bro, that's a lot of protection. That's a lot of privileges that you're getting for being a part of being a T. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
and
But
I'm
on
trying to be
but
careful, bro,
Joe,
because I
oh,
don't
go
want
ahead.
our community to think that we are transphobic. Like, we're
Right.
not.
But on the flip side, men are just first of all, the first group of men in general are basically thrown to the wayside. Being a man is not a good thing
Right.
in today's society. Let's be honest about that, right? So being a man in general is
Right.
bad. Being a white man is the absolute worst thing you could be right now. No. Being a white straight man is the absolute worst thing you could be in society right now. It's the worst thing you be.
They're like the
And
devil.
other that's yeah, you are public enemy number one. You are Satan himself. But other if all groups of straight men also have that same kind of stigma. You're a black straight man, there's an issue with you. You're a Hispanic straight man, there's an issue with you. You're an Asian straight man, there's an issue with you. You're a Pacific Islander straight man, there's an issue with you. So all straight men, like in general, we're looked at as like a outcast because like the perception is we're all out here, beating women up and doing crazy stuff, putting them in the basement, feeding them fish heads. um it's just it's not a good time right now to be a man in general, but um only one party makes you feel that way, and it's not the Republicans.
It's not.
So
Probably you're right. The Republicans don't make me feel that way. You're right. You're right. They don't. It's I feel more that way from the Democratic Party and from liberals or progressives. Yeah, man. It's. We've talked about this before. Like they've went so far to the left as far as like these social issues, right? I'm not going to say economically because economically they're kind of like Republicans, the Democrats, right?
right.
They pretty much vote the same on economic issues, but as far as like social issues, and cultural issues like this, they went so hard on this, bro, to the point that it's just deterred people. It's moving people to the right because of that, And we've talked about this before, and we had a guest on here before, Ty, and remember she was just like, "Why are we even talking about this? This is just a distraction. We should be talking about more important stuff." And I'm like, it's not a distraction. For some people, this really matters. For some people, this is our reality. This is our life.
Yeah.
These are what our kids are going to be taught, what they're going to be indoctrinated with, and when they get to college, like this is huge.
Right.
And we're trying to make sure that we don't lose the handle on this because the further and further it goes, it could only get worse, bro. Like in my opinion. So I don't think this is a distraction. I think this is a valid issue, and yeah, bro. I just don't feel represented in the party, bro. But they go so hard for Black women and for the LGBTQ community, bro. I really feel
Joe,
that way.
even right now, even the whole like campaign to shame men into voting for Kamala, particularly black men to voting for Kamala, that's an issue too. Like, okay, like the Democratic Party is like right now it's like, okay, uh men and straight men, regardless of color, bad. Gay men and women, good.
Right.
And if you want to be a supporter of women and gay men, you should do what we want you to do as a straight man. And if you don't, then somehow you're a bad person and you're toxic and you're
Right.
toxic masculinity. And that's crazy to me because we mentioned this before about all the people, all the guys in the Democratic Party who speak on men's behalf are all feminine. They're all feminine.
Yeah.
They're all a
Yeah.
little
Right.
zesty. So
Right. Right.
I don't know, bro. It's like there really is no place right now for like just regular dudes that just want to come home, drink a beer, and like watch a fight and watch a game. Like you should like in the
Yeah.
Democratic Party, the guy should come home and knit and sew and probably like write a poem to their wife and
Right.
or girlfriend or some shit. And it's like, bro, like you
Yeah.
can't tell people what they are a bad thing. Like it's just like that's not a way to reach people. It's not a way to get people into the fold. And what he's saying is true, bro.
Mhm.
Like straight alphabet community men are way more valuable to the Democratic Party than straight men.
Right.
I don't think that's even debatable.
I don't think it is. That's how I feel. That's how I honestly feel about it. And I felt that way for some time, and it's only gotten worse over time. One of the biggest issues that some people who voted for Barack Obama have too, especially black voters, is that, bro, you did so much more for the LGBTQ community than you did for the black community. You know what I mean? And that's a constant criticism that I hear in black spaces about Obama too. Like, bro, like you left us in the dust, and you did so much for the LGBTQ community. And I'm not trying to put us against that demographic, but like just speaking facts, like that is part of Obama's legacy. That's what people. That's one of the criticisms that we have of him. So, that's why I'm like, bro, you can't come out here and tell us who to vote for or vote for a black woman when you ain't do ish for our community. Like, no, bro. Like, you don't get to talk to me about that. You don't get to scold me this way, bro. And this is so interesting, Ty. Like, I try to think, like, why did they do this? Why did they make it so divisive? Why did they prop up, black women and the LGBTQ, and then throw like just straight men under the bus? Like, I'm trying to figure out what like
it's straight men of all
I don't
colors too,
understand.
bro. It's like it's straight men.
I don't understand.
And the people that are going hard for the Democrats are simps. Like they, bro, they're dudes who are like second in command in the crib, second in command to their families, whatever. Like they're gonna follow whatever the dominant woman in their life says to follow. And it's really weird when you see these like street interviews and somebody walks up to them, hey, who you support? They're like, oh, Kamala, and the guy's like, oh, well, whatever she says. But like I mean, like they're just like, all right, well, I mean, like, because dudes don't want to like fight with the chicks or whatever, and it's like, and the chicks are so like adamant right now, bro. Like, there's more to say, bro. I don't want to make this too long, but it's not looking good for straight men in the Democratic Party. If you're a straight man, and the polls say it too, like, bro, men of all demographics are leaning more towards the Republican Party. We've talked about this before, like. Right. And women of all colors are moving towards the Democratic Party.
Right.
Bro, in 50 years, you might have a Republican Party that's like 95% men.
Yeah. We will.
In the Democratic Party, that's like 95% women. Because like we look at different things. We seem to value different things. Women seem to go so hard on the abortion thing that it's like, guys, we truly don't give a damn about it, bro. Like, we just don't care. Like,
it's not that we don't care. It's just not on the top list of priorities. We care, but like that's like number 6 or 7 on the list for me. Like, it's not. It doesn't even break top 5 as far as issues that I'm really like, that motivate me to vote for a certain candidate. Like that. I'm sorry, you going hard for reproductive rights is not gonna.
If someone says they're pro-life, do you exit them off out of your consideration to vote for them?
Not so much the label, but I do want women to have the right to have access to, like, abortion.
Okay, so
stuff like
so if they
that,
say pro-life, they say they pro-life under every circumstance. You're like, oh, I'm not voting for you. I can't do it.
If they're trying to remove, if they're, I guess, but it depends. Like, you could have that label, but still be like, all right. Some people like have labels, but respect people's rights to have options. You know what I mean? Like, so as long as you're not trying to take away the right for women to do that, I would consider you, but people just being like, nah, like, because if it comes from a super religious, remember, I'm not super religious. So if there's a candidate who's like super religious, then that might not sit right with me, bro, because I'm spiritual, but I'm not super religious as well. So it just I guess it depends. But I'm also not going to vote for somebody just because they're like, abortions for everyone up to 9 months. You could be 14 years old, doesn't matter. Yeah. No, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so you can go on the other opposite side and be extreme, and I'm gonna be like, nah, that's too much, bro. Like, there you could go. Yeah, so,
yeah. All right, I was wondering. Yeah. All right, well, family, let us know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, we tripping? Like, come on, tell us. Like, I know we're probably gonna ruffle some feathers. I know probably the alphabet community people that follow us, are LGBTQ. Like, we love y'all. It's nothing against y'all personally. This is how we feel as heterosexual men right now. How we feel how a lack of representation in the Democratic Party. How we feel like we're just expendable right now. We have no value, like Ty said. So let us know if we're tripping. Like, let us know if you have a different opinion. But like, we really feeling this way. So let us please let us know what you think.
Right. All right, y'all. Until next time.
Until next time.